Have you ever wondered how small mistakes can lead to disaster? Aviation tragedies often result from a series of errors. One shocking case is Aeroflot Flight 593. Today, we explore its lessons for safer flights. Aeroflot Flight 593 was a scheduled domestic flight. On March 23, 1994, the aircraft took off from Moscow. It was heading for Hong Kong, carrying 75 passengers and crew. Unbeknownst to them, disaster awaited. The flight proceeded normally until something unexpected happened. The captain's son was in the cockpit. This was against standard safety protocols. Curiosity and lack of experience would soon have dire consequences. As the plane cruised, the young boy touched the controls. He accidentally disengaged the autopilot. This error put the plane into a steep climb. In response, the flight crew tried to regain control. However, their actions led to further complications. The aircraft stalled at a high altitude. This meant the plane could no longer maintain flight. Now, let's break down what exactly happened. First, the autopilot disengagement caused alarm. Next, the crew's response was crucial. They didn't fully recognize the situation. Ultimately, they lost critical altitude. Because of these errors, the plane entered a deadly spin. Emergency protocols were not followed as they should have been. The aircraft crashed in a remote area of Siberia. Tragically, all on board lost their lives. This incident teaches us significant lessons about aviation safety. First, it highlights the importance of cockpit protocols. Always follow regulations, especially with inexperienced individuals present. Second, it shows the need for effective communication. Crew members must clearly understand each other during crises. Third, autopilot systems require respectful handling, as they are sensitive. To put it in perspective, think of driving a car. If you let someone without a license take the wheel, chaos can follow. The same applies to aviation. Experience matters where lives depend on it. In summary, Aeroflot Flight 593 was a tragic accident. A series of small errors led to a catastrophic outcome. Following protocols and communication could have changed everything. Let's honor the lessons learned from this tragedy. Remember, vigilance in aviation can prevent disasters. If you found this analysis insightful, please like and share. Subscribe for more stories on aviation insights and safety lessons. Together, we can learn from the past to ensure safer skies. Now, consider the implications of this disaster beyond just aviation. Families were shattered, lives lost, and lessons etched into the minds of those in the industry. Training and protocols are not mere suggestions, they're essential to prevent similar tragedies in the future. In the wake of such tragedies, we must also reflect on the responsibility carried by every individual involved in aviation. Each decision made, no matter how small it seems, holds the potential to impact countless lives. This is not just about following rules, it's about fostering a culture of safety and awareness that prioritizes human life above all else. When complacency infiltrates procedures, mistakes can blossom into disasters in mere moments. As we navigate the complexities of aviation safety, let us remember the responsibility that extends beyond the cockpit. It's essential for everyone, from flight attendants to ground crew, to uphold safety standards diligently. While technology assists pilots, human judgment remains irreplaceable in critical moments. Each person in the aviation industry plays a vital role in ensuring that lessons from past tragedies are not forgotten, but integrated into daily operations. It is through collective vigilance and continuous training that we can fortify the skies against the unpredictable nature of flying. By fostering a proactive mindset, we not only honor the memory of those lost but also contribute to a future where such events are mere reminders of the importance of safety. In this spirit of remembering and learning from the past, we must advocate for policies that encourage open dialogue about safety. Regular debriefings should become the norm, allowing crew members to voice concerns and share experiences. This approach creates an atmosphere of trust and collective responsibility, essential for a safety-driven culture. Moreover, incorporating advanced simulation training into routine practice can significantly enhance a crew's readiness for unforeseen circumstances. As we reflect on the unfortunate events surrounding Aeroflot Flight 593, it is imperative to recognize that aviation safety is a shared commitment. When every individual actively participates in maintaining safety protocols, we pave the way for a more secure future in the skies. By emphasizing continuous improvement and accountability, we ensure that lessons learned are not just fleeting memories but rather stepping stones toward excellence in aviation. Ultimately, let us carry forward the legacy of vigilance that honors those who lost their lives by aspiring to safeguard every journey. Together, we strive for a world where history informs practice, making air travel safer for generations to come. In conclusion, the tragedy of Aeroflot Flight 593 serves as a poignant reminder of the critical importance of unwavering adherence to safety measures in aviation. By learning from past mistakes and fostering a culture committed to vigilance, communication, and shared responsibility, we can ensure that the skies remain safe for all who travel. Let us carry forward these lessons, striving for excellence where safety is paramount, as we honor those who lost their lives in this devastating event. Together, we can build a future of safer flights and protect generations to come. The legacy of Aeroflot Flight 593 emphasizes that every flight is a shared responsibility, reminding us to remain vigilant. By understanding past tragedies, we establish a commitment to safety, ensuring that each journey in the skies honors those who lost their lives. Together, we forge a future where lessons learned lead to safer skies for all. Have you ever thought about how critically intertwined our actions are in aviation? Each decision made in the cockpit reverberates far beyond those walls, resonating throughout the entire aircraft. To highlight this, imagine a scenario where a safety protocol is ignored, and the repercussions unfold like a ripple effect, affecting everyone on board. The gravity of this interconnectedness becomes starkly evident in our examination of Aeroflot Flight 593. When one small error goes uncorrected, it can tip the balance between safety and catastrophe. Understanding this delicate balance emphasizes the necessity of maintaining the highest standards during every flight operation. Safety in aviation is not merely a checklist but an ethos that must permeate every aspect of travel, protecting lives at all costs. On that day in March, as Aeroflot Flight 593 climbed toward its cruising altitude, everyone aboard was blissfully unaware of the turbulence that was about to unfold, not in the sky, but within the cockpit itself. Suddenly, the captain's son, caught up in the excitement of the flight, innocently grabbed the yoke, initiating a chain reaction that would not only challenge the pilots, but also test their training, composure, and the very essence of teamwork in one of the most critical moments of their careers. In the ensuing chaos, the pilots attempted to regain control, fueled by both adrenaline and urgency. With their training kicking in, they worked in unison, desperately trying to correct the airplane's steep ascent and prevent a stall. The tension in the cockpit was palpable as they communicated back and forth, every second feeling like an eternity. It was a moment where clear judgment was crucial, yet the atmosphere thickened with panic, and their actions increasingly reflected that stress. They struggled against the forces of nature, each mistake compounding the situation as the aircraft climbed higher. Uncertainty filled the air, testing not only their skills but their bond as a crew, as they became aware that this was not just another flight but a life-or-death situation. As the aircraft continued its rapid, unintended ascent, the cockpit buzzed with the urgent calls of the pilot and co-pilot. They attempted to re-engage the autopilot, but with the controls in disarray, confusion spread like wildfire. The crew's training and instincts kicked into high gear, yet the pressure was mounting, each passing second contributed to their growing anxiety. Amidst the cacophony, they navigated through emergency checklists, desperately trying to restore normalcy. However, the youthful curiosity of the captain's son lingered in the air, a poignant reminder that even in the most serious moments, distractions can turn deadly. As they battled the situation, hope hung by a thread. Could they stabilize the aircraft before it was too late? Despite their best efforts, the cold reality of their predicament became increasingly evident. They were fighting a losing battle, and the stakes were higher than ever before. The aircraft had reached a critical point, the stall warning pierced through the cockpit's tension like a siren, demanding immediate attention. The pilots exchanged frantic glances, their hearts racing as they grasped the magnitude of their crisis. Time felt distorted as they struggled to regain composure amidst the chaos, battling against the overwhelming forces pulling them downward. Each command attempted was met with resistance, reinforcing the desperation of their actions. As they desperately juggled the myriad of procedures and checklists, their thoughts were singularly focused on the survival of everyone aboard. Would they manage to break free from this descent? Time was running out, and every second counted, adding weight to their monumental task, one filled with the dire need for clarity amidst the mounting confusion. In the midst of the throbbing alarms and the sheer chaos of the cockpit, the pilots momentarily lost sight of their crucial training. The noise of the stall warning echoed in the confined space, a haunting reminder of the peril they faced. With disbelief creeping in, they realized that instinct and mental clarity were rapidly slipping away under this pressure. Their once comfortable confines now felt like a pressure cooker, heating with every second that passed, urging them to act while the clock relentlessly ticked toward disaster. As they grasped for the correct set of switches and procedures, the environment started to suffocate their resolve, making it increasingly difficult to think logically. It was a race between human error and life-saving actions, and a single misstep felt like it could decide the fate of the passengers and crew. As the chaos continued to unfold, the pilots managed to slightly alter the aircraft's trajectory, but the relief was short-lived. Descending too rapidly, they witnessed their altitude plummet in a heartbeat. Their voice commands echoed frantically in the cockpit, mingling with alarm signals and the noise of wind outside the aircraft. Fear surged through them, not just for their own lives, but for all 75 souls aboard, helplessly trusting their competence to navigate this harrowing situation. The gravity of their predicament weighed heavily, as they were now painfully aware that success hinged not only on their skills but on their ability to remain lucid amid the mounting panic. In this critical moment, they reshuffled roles, attempting to thin the fog of disarray embracing them, but clarity seemed like an elusive dream. As seconds turned into an eternity, they were left to contend with their own conscious and subconscious emotions, swirling amid the plane's rapid decline. Reinforcing their training, they focused on the basics: listen, cooperate, and act decisively. They had to regain control, for lives depended on it. Amidst the tumultuous storm of confusion and urgency, the pilots finally recognized a pivotal opportunity. The stall warning blared, a shrill cry demanding their immediate focus, propelling them back to the core of their training. Clinging to hope, they coordinated their actions, with one pilot taking charge while the other voiced critical instructions. This moment highlighted the intrinsic importance of teamwork, where every voice mattered, and every action was vital. Adrenaline coursed through their veins as they fought to combat the physical forces threatening to pull them down, knowing that their combined expertise offered the slimmest chance of redemption amidst chaos. With grim determination, they shifted their approach, applying their skills despite the mounting pressure threatening to engulf them entirely. Would they be able to stabilize the aircraft in time, or was this moment of clarity too late? As the stall warning transformed into a deafening chorus, the cockpit bathed in alerts and alarms, the pilots pulled together, drawing on every ounce of training they had received. Every command given now carried weight, as if time had slowed and every second dripped with urgency. They fought against the instinct to panic, focusing intently on their next moves. In this moment, their bond as a crew shone brightly among the chaos, proving that unwavering trust could yield unexpected strength. Ultimately, it was this resilience that paved the way for one last desperate maneuver, inviting hope amid despair as they sought sanctuary against the formidable odds. Would this final effort be enough to pull them back from the brink of disaster? In that relentless struggle to regain control, the pilots exchanged brief glances, each one a silent message of determination. With the aircraft still in a perilous descent, they leaned into their roles, one focusing on manipulating the yoke, the other calling out vital adjustments. It was a race against time, where clarity became their greatest weapon against chaos. Each command resonated with urgency, infusing their actions with purpose, yet the aircraft's descent persisted, weighing heavily on their shoulders. They pressed on, the weight of responsibility unwavering. The tragedy of Aeroflot Flight 593 serves as a glaring reminder that vigilance and adherence to protocol can ultimately mean the difference between life and death. By embracing these lessons and fostering a safety-first culture in aviation, we can honor those lost and help ensure safer